Okay, it's time to weigh myself so you guys see what I'm working with. 75.3, excuse my funky socks. So 75.3 kg. Damn, I'm heavy. So I just woke up, so excuse my face, and this is how I'm looking. Just me and my 75.3 kg of weight. So yeah, I'm not even going to try to do much bikini posing because there's no point. I mean, I think you can pretty much tell. You'll be able to tell. What I will also do, I will also do some measurements of my waist and of this part, because everything else doesn't really matter. And yeah, I mean, there is still some shape you can see through, obviously, as I do train hard, and I feel like with time, when you build muscle and you layer your fat over it, it does look more firm. But I am a chunky lady right now. One of my heaviest I've ever been in my life. Alright, so we're gonna do my waist. 73. And then my bottom, oh my god, I'm just trying to see in the mirror. 107, Jesus Christ. So as you guys can see, I have some stomach fat, but not too much. It's just how genetically I distribute it. I do have some like back stuff, obviously, like all over my arms, but the thickest parts are legs, as always. So that's just really genetical, and I can't really do anything about it, how it distributes. So yeah, that's my first shape, and I think what I will do another Physique update in 2 weeks, because sometimes week by week it's not very visible. In 2 weeks I'll do the same. I'll just do this kind of video, just wearing simple, you know, same clothes, maybe not the socks, and then I will just do the measurements so you guys can see my progress. Thought I'd also share some things I'm going to be taking on prep. I do take these things kind of throughout the year anyway, but on prep I'm just trying to be more careful and be more consistent with it. So I take this omega 3 times a day, vitamin C 3 times a day, CLA once a day. Cayenne pepper is actually really great to boost your metabolism, but you have to be careful because some people are very sensitive. I remember first couple of times I've had it, I kind of felt like I'm a dragon breathing fire. So maybe have it midway through the meal so that it doesn't land on an empty stomach, and then you kind of cover up with more food. But yeah, I take it probably 3 times a week, so not too often, depending on how I'm feeling. Vitamin D, very important, and also this thyroid complex that I actually got this summer when I didn't have my period back, and I don't know, I've been taking it and it's been, I guess, helping me a lot. And if you want to look at just ingredients and get it separately, I think it has selenium and iodine and zinc, so yeah, a bunch of things, but I will link all of this below if I find them. This one I got in the States, and yeah, I think most of these you can find in your local pharmacies anyway. Simple. I also do have digestive enzymes, but I'll probably take them if I have a cheat meal to help with digestion, but otherwise this is like my typical stack. And in terms of other supplements, I've just ordered some more BCAAs, but I do take glutamine before bed. I feel like it helps me to sleep a little bit better, recover, and this one has no flavor, so you can just mix it with water or any other favorite supplements you do. Out for a walk with Lola. Where she is? There she is, running around. And I'm listening to a podcast, as I do in the mornings. And today is a really fun one with Tim Ferriss and Seth Godin. I'll link it if you guys want to listen to it as well. It's amazing. And one of the really great things that he talked about, Seth Godin, is about being professional. He gave a great example of if you're going through a knee surgery and halfway through your surgeon is saying, oh, actually, no, I don't feel like doing it. You know, it's just crazy. So what he says is, if you have a promise to yourself, you gotta keep it. If you promise to somebody else to do something, do it, because you have to be professional and do things that sometimes you don't feel like doing just because you committed. You have to just finish it. And he also talks about the importance of making really good decisions. So if you do promise something, you're gonna do it, not because for the sake of it, but just for the sake because you also put a lot of thought of doing that project in the first place. So not committing to every single thing that everybody asks you to do, but that fits with your priorities and your goals. And I thought it's very timely with the beginning of prep, where you are committing and making a promise to yourself to do things And I don't know, I just love preps. Not because I'm like going to be leaner and maybe look more like a fitness person, but because it's just such a fun challenge. And unless you get super lean, diet is actually not that hard, because I mean, I have plenty of body fat for the energy, so I don't actually feel anything, you know. I just eat a little bit less, and by eating a little bit less, I try to take off my mind of food by doing other things like work, podcast, friends, being more social. And that's something I really want to do this prep. I want to be more social, and I've been also dancing a lot at home, so when I show you my activities spreadsheet, you'll see that there's zero cardio, but there are occasional 10 or 20 minutes dancing at home with actually these headphones, because I had wired headphones for so long, and now I have this wireless that I can just jump and do whatever I want to, and they will stay on. So yeah, that's my little thought of the day. Lola! Today is a nice day, so Lola is enjoying, but there are not many dogs. Another important thing of keeping promises is your own reputation, even in front of yourself. You know, when you do things you said you were going to do, you respect yourself more, you get more confident. At least that's how I feel. I think most would agree. And if others see you do things that you say you're going to do, rather than taking years or, you know, too long, or just doing it not with your best effort, others will just respect you more, even if it's something completely not relatable to their life. Yeah. To show you a little bit how I'm planning to do my spreadsheets of my goals. So this is today, 4th of November. My weight is this. I didn't do any training today. I'm having a rest day. I did do some dancing at home that I mentioned in the previous video in the park. I just put my headphones, I was dancing around. I will put it as a activity because it is an activity. Then in the end of the day, I will put how many steps I've done from my iPhone, because it does track your daily steps. And I will also put my calories, protein, carbs, and my fats. So these are the targets for next week. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to do any cardio next week. I will try to do 12,000 steps, because in my whole off season and right now I've been doing about 10,000 steps. So I think by adding extra 2,000 steps every single day, that's quite a big jump in activity in some way. And it's not very difficult, because walking is quite passive and it's easy to do, especially for me, because I have Lola and I just generally walk around a lot for work, meetings, and I love walking to clear my head as well. I will drop my calories because this week I've been maintaining at 2,000. I actually also went out for big dinner and 2 desserts, so I think even though I was eating 2,000 this whole week, I had maybe 3,000 on that night. So very naughty of me, but that's fine. We're starting from scratch. And in terms of my workouts, these are my kind of planned workouts for what I will do next week. They might change depending on how my body is feeling and if I want to put this empty rest day somewhere else. But so far I'm planning to do legs, back and biceps, shoulders and glutes, having rest, and chest and triceps, hams and glutes, and some shoulders. As you can see, I'm doing shoulders twice a week because that's something I want to improve on and just keep the muscles going, and also glutes twice a week, and legs are just like overall legs. And yeah, I'm not trying to do any quad isolation, but I'll talk about my training further. That's just like a rough idea. So I'll try to do 6 weight sessions next week, 12,000 steps a day. My calories will be 1,900. And in terms of my macro distribution, I will do 180 of protein every single day. And then carbs and fats will vary depending on how I'm feeling, because some days I'm craving more fat, some days I'm craving more carbs, but I do have minimum. So I will eat daily 80 carbs minimum and 50 fat minimum. Especially fat is very important because fat is responsible for building your hormones, your overall health. So we'll never go below 50 grams of fat and 80 grams of carbs. And if you're wondering why I'm not setting exact macros for carbs and fats, because it might make a difference. Actually, from my experience, if my calories are the same and my protein is the same, how I distribute these two will make zero difference. It might make a little difference in my weight because carbs do hold more water, but overall in a whole week it should equal out, and yeah, it's just the same. So don't worry too much. I think if you like higher carb, go with higher carb. If you like higher fat, go with higher fat. Just make sure your protein is always consistent and high, because it's the most important part of anything muscle building or fat loss. And this is a guideline for my week. I will see how it turns out in the end. I'll probably screenshot this and then screenshot my actual results. And here I will enter my weight and also kind of average it out in a week through actually different app that I told you before. It's called Happy Scale. And yeah, it will just be easier to monitor my progress. I'm trying to think of ways that will be helpful for you guys to see as well. So I'll probably do a recap of this similar spreadsheet next Sunday and we'll see what happens to me.